Well, y'all, Socialist Wonder Boy gives the New Yorkers a whole nother dish of FAFO, as now, apparently, when you are charging cops with knives and attempting to kill them, you should be released. You shouldn't be prosecuted. And in fact, the same Socialist Wonder Boy actually went and visited the victim's family, not the cop who was actually injured in the knife attack. I tell you what, it's weird how these themes consistently keep popping up, isn't it? Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, and we'll explore this further together. Don't miss the live show tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It is the perfect way to wrap up a week, but let's dive right in to this pre-live show. This one, I actually contemplated doing a different video, a different time, but I can't hold this back. This is wild. Okay, let's dive right into this. So, sometimes you can only tell people so many times this is going to happen. Right, what's the left's MO? You guys can tell me in the comments and the chats below when it comes to crime. The person committing the crime is always the victim. The perpetrator of violence is always the cops. It's always the system. It's always the inherently racist issue of policing. It's always that. Never ending. Defunding the police. Literally the Democrat MO. Okay? But then you get Socialist Wonder Boy, Comrade Zoran Mamdani, and you know what? When you do this, you are the victim. Not the cops, not the people being charged with the knife. You're the victim. Watch this.
Baba, no! Hey, put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife, move! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
Now, of course, at the very end of that, you hear what you would normally hear when you're charging cops with a knife. Clearly on that body camera footage. Again, body cams really defeat that whole police are out to kill you narrative that the left likes to spew. But this right here is interesting because this was already an issue for everyone in New York. When Mamdani went to the hospital and comforted the guy charging the cop with a knife. And now, as an add-up follow-up story in the FAFO portion for New Yorkers, now it's the fact that he should not be prosecuted. What you just saw on camera, don't worry, I got the clips, don't worry. What you just saw on camera right here with this dude charging the cop with a knife drawn, he should not be prosecuted and he should be out in the population and in the public. That is obviously the most pragmatic solution to public safety, isn't it? It's almost like this is a pattern. Okay, let's keep on trucking. I got some more stuff for you because it is wild. This is the party of defund the police. They cannot deviate from this attack, or at least deviate from this mode of approach to these types of issues. What would you do in this scenario? I mean, come on. Okay, watch this. This is him saying today that, you know what, he shouldn't be prosecuted. You know what? Don't take my word for it. Listen to Social Wonder Boy.
The Queens District Attorney is expected to bring charges against Javed Chakrabarti later today. I'm just wondering if you talked to the Queen District Attorney about that, if you talked to the family. I'm curious what you would say about it.
So I think I caught the bulk of your question. I have not directly spoken with the District Attorney. I will say, however, that no family should have to endure this kind of pain. What they need right now is care, dignity, and support.
So, I mean, obviously, you would think that he's talking about the police officer who was charged with a knife and who was also injured at the same hospital, right? Like, you would think that care, dignity, and support would be to the officer who went into a dangerous environment to solve a issue and was charged with a knife and had to discharge his firearm to protect himself, all on camera. You would think that dignity and support would be towards the officer, right? Yeah, you'd be wrong. Watch.
Javed should not be prosecuted by the Queens District Attorney. His handcuffs should be removed.
The Queens District Attorney is expected.
What? So the guy who charged the cop with a knife, by the way, could also be charging you with a knife, but he's going to be his victim. He is the victim here. You see how this works, guys? Socialist Wonder Boy Zoran Mamdani gets into power. Everything starts going to crap. Literally, trash starts flying everywhere. People are leaving New York City en masse. He's at a budget deficit of billions of dollars because he overpromises and underdelivers. And you know what? He needs support. his family needs support. No, that guy needs to be probably arrested for assaulting a police officer with a deadly weapon. Because if it's not the police officer, it's one of his family members, or it's someone on the street, or it's an innocent child walking along the street, or it's someone who has no idea what's going on in the universe with this guy walking the street. This is the same stuff that we've seen in North Carolina where that girl was killed on the bus, literally just sitting there doing nothing. It's because of crap like this. Anyway, let's keep on trucking, because again, it's only going to get worse. I mean, honest to God, this is actually the best little part right here in this headline. Good luck, New York City. It'll only get worse. Yeah, it's only going to get worse because the defund the police and the criminals are the victims mentality of the socialist wonder boy is going to continue to infect New York City. Let's keep on trucking. I'll show you some other stuff. This is the earlier clip. Again, y'all, I don't make this stuff up. Everything's linked in the description box below. These people are intent on destroying the system. They are destroying common sense. It is the most obvious thing in the world. If you have a guy who is running at a cop while he's interfering with a different issue that's going on, it's the most obvious thing in the world when it's on camera to say, yeah, that guy probably shouldn't be in society, or he should be in a medical facility. Something to the degree of, you aren't on the street to harm individuals. But no. It's the defund the police. It's the care. It's the support. It's the emotional caring. Or it's just arresting people who are dangerous to the population. Sorry, that's just reality. But anyway, here's where he openly says that he went and he visited the family of the guy with the knife in the hospital, not the family of the police officer or the police officer himself, who was in the exact same hospital. Watch. You can't make this stuff up.
As you said, I spoke with the Chakraborty family and I visited Chavez in the hospital. And there is no family should have to endure this kind of pain.
Baba, no! Hey, put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Move! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
So what if he had killed that woman in front of that? What if when she put herself between the cop and him, what if he had killed that woman? Would it have been no scenario should be like this? Because that guy, that knife jumped into his hand and that knife did evil things and the police are bad because they killed somebody. The guy literally charged at cops across the room. The cop puts a barricade between himself and the assailant. Then the assailant opens the door with a knife drawn. The cop shoots him in defense and then goes, oh my God. So then the mayor, Socialist Wonder Boy here goes, I've spoken with the family, and he shouldn't be arrested. The handcuffs should be dropped off. You understand the implications of this? Because the implications are pretty clear. The people who are doing the crime are the victims, and the people who are stopping the crime are the assailants. See how this inversion of reality happens? It's almost like the men can get pregnant kind of stuff that they always do, the defunding of the police kind of stuff. All of this. It's not going away. This is what happens when you let them talk and when you let them govern. Let's keep on trucking and see what else. That's the exact same thing. Breaking a man with a charged police officer when was shot. Zohran Mamdani didn't check in on the officer. Instead, he visited the attacker in the hospital and offered condolences to the attacker's family. Screw that. And this is the whole point. Again, we'll keep going in our live stream and look forward to it. It's going to be a good episode. But y'all, this is what they are doing. When they start actual governing and they start actually showing you what they're doing, enjoy the FAFO, New York. Enjoy it. Because socialism with a smile is putting you in a hell of a bad place. But you know what? FAFO. It's not my thing. I live in Florida where it's not an issue. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.